Central America's coffee industry is facing a brutal few months ahead. A fungus has killed much of this year's crop and will cost nearly 1 million plantation workers their jobs. Several countries have already declared national emergencies to deal with the crisis. John Holman reports on one of the hardest hit countries.
These plants should be providing this season's coffee yield. Instead, the only thing left to do is cut them down. They've been struck by coffee rust, a fungus that shrivels up the plant's leaves and dries out the fruit. It's hit 70% of Guatemala's crop. While it's not the only factor, global warming has heated up the country's lowlands, turning them into a perfect breeding ground for the fungus. Farmers like Dina Monterosso are struggling to cope.
I lost maybe the 50% of my harvest, so it means that I'm not going to have enough money to complete the next years of work.
Juan Francisco Martinez works at Dina's plantation. He's been cultivating coffee since he was just 7 years old and depends on the money he makes here to support his wife and 11 children. Now, his livelihood is under threat.
If this gets worse, we're going to have to give up our work here and look for something else, because in the coffee plantations there's not going to be anything left for us.
Coffee production is the biggest employer in rural Guatemala, but 70,000 jobs have been cut this year. A third of the workers at this farm have already been laid off, and if this continues, more of them are due to lose their jobs. The farmers attending this workshop are learning how to prevent the plague attacking next year's crop. The Guatemalan government has declared a state of emergency and pledged the equivalent of $14 million in pesticides and fresh plants to farmers. But coffee plants grow slowly, and even if the spread of the fungus is stopped, it will be a long road back to prosperity.
In 4 or 5 years, we could get back to the same level of coffee production as before. And in the longer term, we could have new varieties of plant, which could mean more employment and an increase in production.
But it's the here and now that's worrying Juan Francisco. The damage from coffee rust is expected to double in the next harvest, and every diseased plant that he cuts down means less opportunity to put food on the table. John Holman, CCTV, Guatemala.